Alright, so hello you guys. So this video is for people who weren't able to attend in class for our in-person notes on the Renaissance. So these notes are going to be pretty quick. We're going to consider them mini notes, and we're going to try to keep it under 10 minutes for this video. So before we actually talk about, the Renaissance, let's discuss the background as to, what brought about the Renaissance within Europe. So the first thing that we really need to understand is just kind of a broad overview of the Renaissance. And so the Renaissance is essentially going to be a period in time, it's going to last a couple hundred years actually, where we are going to see really just a rebirth, in European culture, artistry, and just political and economics. Okay, we're going to see a lot of different change within Europe following the Middle Ages. So, when we've, looked at world history, we've talked about a couple of different time periods for our units. Unit 1 was a good chunk of prehistory, early human civilizations, that sort of thing. Unit 2 was classical civilizations with the Greeks and the Romans. Then we moved into the Middle Ages, and now our next stepping stone is the Renaissance. Okay, now during the Middle Ages, Europeans for the most part had made very, very few advances in terms of science and the arts. Okay, however, not all of Europe was making few advances. Specifically Italy during the Middle Ages was really enjoying an economic time period where it was very, very prosperous to be in Italy. And the main reason behind that is because Italy was heavily involved in global trade. Now, a couple things to note about trade here. So, yes, money is being moved into Italy, and they're going to use that money eventually to finance the new art that's going to be taking place. But the other thing that's going to be happening while people are trading is people are going to be talking. Whenever you get, with a group of people, you are going to discuss certain things. You might be like, oh, wow, like I learned this new thing, or man, did you see it? This is happening. You guys are going to talk, okay? And that's what's going to happen. Within Italy's urban environment, we're going to see new ideas being discussed between, travelers and people who were from Italy. Now, out of this exchange of ideas, we're going to have a new cultural movement be born. And that new cultural movement is going to become known as humanism. And humanism is really going to define what the Renaissance is going to be all about. So, we need to understand what humanism is about. So, humanism is going to promote the idea that man and women, humans in general, we are at the center of our own universe. And we need to embrace human achievements. Okay, we need to look at the beauty of humanity and really put ourselves in almost a divine position. Okay, specifically, we're going to be embracing human achievements like in education, the arts, literature, and science. Really looking again, like I just said, at the beauty of human existence. So that brings us to the Renaissance. So the Renaissance is actually a French word, and it literally means rebirth, okay? Specifically, we're going to focus on the rebirth of art and also of learning. Now, whenever we're talking about the Renaissance, we have to talk about what allowed for these ideas to spread so quickly. And that is because of an invention. And that invention came about in 1450, and it's known as the Gutenberg printing press. Okay, before this time period, within Europe, books for the most part were all handwritten. It was a slow process. It was a timely process. Cost a lot of money. And it was, not uncommon for books to not be around that much. And so the Gutenberg printing press is going to allow for improved communication within Europe, okay? And so because of this printing press, and you can see it right here, little known text, so little known books from these early humanist authors, we are now going to be able to print their books much faster, greater quantity of them, okay? And we're going to see a renewal for traditional Greek and Roman culture and values. So, humanist interest remember, because it's all about, us humans, we're going to have a really big interest in the human body. And that's going to give rise to new techniques and really a focus in art. So here we have two different paintings of the Virgin Mary, Jesus' mother. The picture on the left-hand side would have been an art piece that you would have found in the Middle Ages. And then the picture on the right-hand side you would have found during the Renaissance. Okay, and we automatically see a couple of differences in terms of detail, complexity, and also realism. And when you go back and look at the Renaissance art, that is what we are going to see. We're going to see new heights of detail, complexity, realism. And it's incredible. And you're going to recognize some of these. This obviously is the Mona Lisa. This next photo or painting is the Last Supper. This one, if I remember correctly, it's known as the Pietà. And something that's cool to note, you guys, is that this is a sculpture. But look at how real it looks. Okay. And then this is another famous statue in this time period. This is the statue of David. What we're going to focus on is his hands. Okay, again, this is made out of marble. All right, and to look at the complexity, in the hands, it's extremely lifelike. I mean, you can even see the veins on his hands, and it's so incredible. All right, now along with this new revival in arts and learning, we're also going to have a revival of the sciences that will lead to the scientific revolution. We'll have Galileo with his telescope. We'll have Copernicus with heliocentric theory, which is the theory that the sun is the center of the universe. And this scientific revolution is going to really help lead to the age of exploration, which we're going to talk about next week. So, that is it for our notes. Like I said, super quick. This is supposed to be very, very broad. So if you guys have any questions, you can send me an email. I guess you could leave a comment on this video, but I would just send me an email, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Goodbye.